we're incredibly proud of what we've achieved through LEEP since 2017. We have supported 450 plus SMEs, creating over 1,400 jobs, and all of this is through one of the worst crises we've seen in modern history. We see the programme as doing a number of different things and actually being a lifeline to many businesses over the last 3 years or so. One thing I think about when I reflect on the programme and the successes, and we think about how to take that forward more generally as a community, are 3 areas really. So collaboration, adaptation and innovation. So when we talk about collaboration, we talk about collaboration with not just the private sector, but also experts, civil society, other donors, but crucially the government, and that's been absent for a long time. And when we talk about a vibrant private sector, we need all of those things to come together and that collaboration to work. On adaptation, we've seen our SMEs through LEEP adapt through a COVID crisis, a Port of Beirut explosion, through a severe economic crisis, and I've always been impressed by how well they've adapted. And so innovation has been core to the programme as well. We've seen not just innovative businesses and products, but approaches to markets. The UK continues to support Lebanon, and it's not just through our economic engagement, but it's also through our humanitarian work, our work on social safety nets with others such as the World Bank. And in the economic space in particular, we'll continue to engage with the government on advocacy around these important economic reforms. So not just the private sector reforms that we've talked about in the space of SMEs, but the broader macroeconomic challenges that Lebanon faces and the reforms that need to happen.
برنامج تطوير الأعمال والتوظيف بلبنان هو برنامج ممول من الحكومة البريطانية وبتنفذه شركة Palladium Group. هدف البرنامج هو دعم المؤسسات الصغيرة والمتوسطة الحجم لتطوير وتوسيع نطاق عملها وخلق فرص عمل جديدة. بينقسم هالدعم لقسمين، مادي وهو عبارة عن تغطية 50% من قيمة الاستثمار لتطوير المؤسسة، وغير مادي من خلال تقديم خدمات استشارية مجانية بيقدمها اختصاصيين محترفين. بلشنا نشتغل مع المؤسسات الصغيرة والمتوسطة الحجم من خلال المصارف يلي كانت تعطي قروض لهالمؤسسات، وكنا نحن نغطي لحدود 50% من قيمة القرض من بعد تنفيذ وإتمام خطة العمل وخلق الوظائف المطلوبة.
The LEEP programme has been through a rollercoaster ride over the last 3 years as we've had to adapt to the various crises that have faced the country, and the programme that has emerged out of the other side ostensibly doesn't look very much like what we went into the programme with. The fundamentals of it remain the same. We are still supporting small and medium enterprises who are investing for job creating growth, but the way that we do that has changed over time. As the crisis has unfolded, we've had to make different changes to keep the programme relevant and keep the programme going with SMEs. We started off with increasing the amount of loan size that we would match. We then had to increase the eligibility period over which an SME could apply for the programme, as demand wasn't what we expected it to be given the increasingly severe crisis. Once the Thawra erupted and the banking crisis, the ensuing banking crisis happened, banks were no longer lending money, and we had to then adapt to allow for self-financing. As we entered hyperinflation and people not being able to get their money out of the banks, we then also adapted the programme further to allow transfers of fresh dollars. And so we were able to give fresh money, hard currency to SMEs to enable them to be able to purchase supplies from abroad, and much more useful to them as SMEs providing fresh dollars.
4 آب 2020 يوم أسود للبنان، انفجار مرفأ بيروت. كان لابد إنه فريق العمل ينزل مباشرة على الأرض ويتعرف على المؤسسات المتضررة تجرب تساعدها ترجع تعمر، ترجع على شغلها، وخاصة تحافظ على أشغال الناس اللي كانت عم تشتغل بهالمؤسسات. بالإجمال قدر برنامج ليب الممول من UKAID يساهم بإعادة أعمار فوق 100 مؤسسة صغيرة ومتوسطة بقلب بيروت بعد الانفجار.
The Component 2 hiring subsidies is an initiative by LEEP to incentivize inclusive job creation. The objective of this intervention was first to include PWDs or persons with disabilities and vulnerable women in the workplace in partnership with ProAbled. The scope was thereafter expanded to include ex-convicts and youth at risk with the support of March in Tripoli. Under this component, LEEP has supported the employment of more than 100 employees, out of which are 45 persons with disabilities, and have also trained more than 174 staff.
As part of our mandate to support small and medium enterprises, we are doing some work on policy advocacy. This is really driven by the SMEs, so it's rooted in their daily experience of the challenges that they're facing and the things that they as SMEs think should be done in order to fix it. We're gathering together those insights. We will be publishing a report which will be launched today at our final event to say what we think needs to happen based off the views and the input of our SMEs. We're also engaging with civil servants, with government actors to put forward this message, to reinforce the many voices that are calling for reform and to put forward ideas for what SMEs would like to see happening, which will make it easier for them to do business. SMEs are going to be crucial to the recovery of the economy. I'm fully confident that the entrepreneurial spirit, the ability, the talent that we have in this country will be able to pull us out of the crisis. But at the moment, they are fighting against the stream. And it's really important those reforms are made because that will free them up to be able to grow, to be able to create jobs. I'm very, very hopeful for the future. I know that LEEP is coming to an end, but I feel confident that the legacy that we leave behind and the legacy of the SMEs that we have helped support will be immensely important for the future of the country.
With LEEP grant, we managed to reconstruct. We managed to keep our 55 employees, which 5 of them are disabled.
المستفيدين الأول من هذا الشيء حسوا إنه في حدا حدهم، في حدا عم بيقول لهم إنه ما تعطلوا هم، الجار للجار ونحن حدكم حنكمل معكم.
بحب أتشكر UK Aid بإيمانهم فينا لأن نحن كمان مأمنين بحالنا هون.
كان دعم كتير كبير إنه لولا أكيد ما كنا اليوم هون.
ولولا ليب ما قعدوا حدنا ما كنا قدرنا نحصل ونقدر نعمل مكتب قد حلو.
بشكر ليب وبشكر دعمكم لنا.
بشرفنا نكون جزء من هذا التيم.
وبإيدنا بيت وحدة نحن قادرين نكفي الشغل.